Right now.
Alrighty, my friends.
Hello.
I am here to inform you and persuade you today on a matter of great importance. Are you ready? Alright.
I was born ready.
Do you recall all the times that your mom told you to clean your room? You don't remember all those times? Well, I remember a lot of the times that my mom asked me to do that. So I am here to tell you that you should clean your room.
Why?
I'm going to tell you why. That's a well-timed question there, Saunders. A clean room is a very important thing, perhaps more important than you are aware. And not only should you clean your room, you should clean your kitchen, you should clean your bathroom, and your school and or job workspaces. I never realized, and I don't think that my mom did fully either, when she told me a bajillion times to clean my room, just how necessary it is to keep your work and living environments tidy and clean. In an article from Psychology Today, Associate Professor Nicole R. Keefe, PhD, she's a research scientist and professor at the Indiana University, she led a study and found that people with clean houses are healthier than people with messy houses. Now, Caleb, how do you suppose she did this? She led a study. That's right. So, Keith, that's the doctor lady, and her colleagues, they tracked the physical health of 998 people between the ages of 49 and 65. Now, the reason she chose this demographic was because this particular age group is known to be more at risk to heart diseases. So participants who kept their homes clean were healthier and more active than those who didn't. There was a 2010 study published in the scientific journal Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, which used linguistic analysis software to measure the ways 60 individuals discussed their homes, or women who described their living spaces as cluttered or full of unfinished projects were more likely to be depressed and fatigued than women who described their homes as restful and restorative, you know what I'm saying? And so my mom, whenever she comes home from work and I'm already home, I can hear her thumping up the stairs very tiredly, and it does her no good if there are dishes in the sink, especially if those dishes are mine, because I'm about to lose my behind if she figures out that they're mine and I didn't clean them right away. So anyway, I can see this particular fact in my own home. A survey conducted by the National Sleep Foundation found that 75% of people in their survey said that they get a better night's rest when their sheets are freshly cleaned because they feel more comfortable. So Caleb, what have you learned so far? Clean your room.
Yeah.
Alright, good. Stay with me.
Yeah, just
So, what else does having a clean environment do? That's a good question. I'm glad I asked that. It reduces allergy and asthma symptoms. Okay? So not cleaning your carpet, your bed sheets, or naturally damp areas such as your garage or basement, that can worsen allergies and or asthma. This is a quote from Dr. Giovanni, an allergy and asthma specialist on staff at the Christ Medical Center. Quote, "The more stuff you have in your home, the harder it is to clean. Messy areas include the potential for dust, pet dander, and mold to accumulate in closets, on surfaces, and in crevices." So clean your room.
how would mold get in your closet?
It's dark, sometimes it's damp, you throw in a pair of dirty, muddy boots in your closet, and you just totally forget about it for a whole year. Which I don't know who would do that, but I guess that's a way that mold can grow in there. So even the Environment Protection Agency admits that indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than the outdoors. So why not just leave your doors open? Well, because it's wintertime and it's cold outside. You want to keep the heat inside. So if the average person spends up to 90% of their time indoors, we are breathing in dust mites, pet dander, pollen, mold, bug skeletons, and toxins from innocuous sources such as our own cleaning supplies and chemicals emitted from our own clothing and bedding. So Caleb, what are you going to do when you get home?
Wash my clothes.
You go wash your clothes. I'm proud of you. These toxins manifest themselves as symptoms most people attribute to allergies, So some of those symptoms include what? Itchy eyes, runny nose, wheezing.
What's wheezing?
Wheezing, so what Josh is doing right now, that's wheezing. Like what Wile E. Coyote does when he misses the Roadrunner yet again. He goes like that, that's wheezing. But these symptoms should be blamed on an unclean house. For example, you have allergy symptoms, but it's wintertime. There's no pollen outside that I know of. I mean, unless you live somewhere south, but that still doesn't make any sense because all the leaves are gone. So, another thing it does is it improves safety. Having a clean house, workspace, clean environment, improves safety. Falls, like trips and falls, and fires are two leading causes of injuries. I see you're paying attention there, Josh. Are two leading causes of injuries and deaths inside the home. This is a quote from Gary Bedenhausen, Bureau Chief of EMS, Emergency Medical Services, from the Oak Lawn Fire Department. Quote, tripping over objects and slipping on slick surfaces can cause head injuries, broken and sprained limbs, which can result in a trip to the hospital emergency room, which they don't want to see you there. Especially not you, Josh. They don't want to see you there.
You've been there.
They've seen enough of you already. So cleaning, it lessens the spread of germs, Sandis. It reduces the spread of germs. So many people think that bathrooms are the worst when it comes to germs, and they're still pretty dirty at times, so they can be pretty darn disgusting. So bathtubs, doorknob handles, all of these are great ways to transfer germs because everybody's touching in and out of these things. But the kitchen is the biggest source of bacteria. Dr. Stephen Sikowski, an infectious disease specialist from Christ Medical Center, states, the kitchen is a prime area for germs because of the many crevices that can hold water or splatters of food. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, gastrointestinal illness can be spread by contaminated food, and food poisoning is less likely in kitchens that are properly cleaned and sanitized. Who here's had food poisoning? I didn't think so.
I barfed up milk.
You barfed up milk. That's lovely. It wasn't food poisoning. That's because you had some bad food, which can cause food poisoning. But that's not the point here. The point is germs. Hey, germs. Cleaning. It keeps pests away. Bugs and rodents can multiply and easily hide in messy homes. They can hide in your very clothes, Caleb. They're probably in your clothes right now.
I thought it was private in here.
Okay. So some things that they are attracted to include, but are not limited to, liquid spills, food debris, dirty pet bowls. So when you get home, clean Toby's bowl. That's your dog Toby, right? So another quote from Dr. Sikowski. Cockroaches are not just annoying, but they can spread dangerous germs to humans. They are a well-established cause of asthma, carry numerous bacteria and parasites, and they spread germs that can cause gastroenteritis. Gastroenteritis, yeah, that's right. So, that's basically the stomach flu. Symptoms include all things nasty. So, just take my word for it. Then there are mice. Mice are little critters that are extremely pesky, whatever you want to call them. They get into your grandpa's wood-splitting engine, which is outside in the wintertime, and they build a nest in there, and they chew wires, and you have to spray them, and it's just a big old mess. And it doesn't help that he lives out in the country either, where there are plenty of mice.
Have you ever,
But that's not the point.
Have you ever had any personal experiences?
I have had personal experience with mice. One time, a mouse ran along my grandpa's desk and got its leg caught in the mouse trap, and it was alive, and it went down behind the fridge, and so I had to fish it out and carry it outside, and I shot it. I had to kill the mouse. So anyway, they can spread diseases to humans, which include lymphocytic choriomeningitis, and if you're confused as to what that is, look it up because it's quite extensive. Another disease is salmonella and hantavirus. Dr. Sikowski stated again, it's very important for the health of the entire family to prevent pest infestation. So, what can you do? You can prevent them from infiltrating your home, and you need to uncover them before they get to becoming a serious problem. This can be done by taking out the trash, Josh, and putting away all food in containers that are well sealed, Sandus. Unless Josh eats all the food, then that's okay. Just wash the dishes. The germy culprits aren't always where you think they are. Elizabeth Scott, PhD, co-director of the Center for Hygiene and Health in Home and Community at Simon's College in Boston, very lengthy title, found Staphylococcus bacteria, a common cause of serious skin infections. She found this in 26% of the bathtubs that she tested, compared with just 6% of garbage cans. So, make sure you clean your bathtub too. So ABC News, they're reporting on cleanliness studies. Here's one study that they reported on. 34 Dutch students were tested to see if the orderliness of the room they were living in had any effect on their generosity and sense of needing to do the right thing. So there are 34 students in a dirty room, and there are 34 students in another clean room. It just says 34 students overall, so maybe it was divided in half. So at the end of the experiment, they were asked to contribute to a worthy cause. Which group do you think contributed more than the other?
The all cleanly one.
The clean group. That's a good answer. Some 82% of the students in the orderly room contributed money, compared to only 47% in the disorderly room. As they left their room, they were offered a treat. Happy Halloween. Here's a treat for you. The options were either an apple or a piece of candy. Josh, which would you choose?
Candy.
You would choose the candy?
Apple.
You would choose the apple?
I ate an apple.
Your shirt says run, so you're a healthy...
I ate an apple today for lunch.
I'm so proud of you. Participants from the orderly room were more than 3 times as likely to take the apple than they were the candy. In the final experiment, 188 American adults were asked to pick from a list of new options to be added to a restaurant's menu. Participants from the orderly room were far more likely to pick a healthy option than were participants from a disorderly room. The researchers described the findings as, quote, robust, which means that there was little question that the environment directly influenced the behavior of the participants. So all of this is very valid, guys. Researchers from the University of Minnesota discovered that the environment can influence people's behavior and motivation to act. For example, you got a dingy corridor, there's a hallway, Caleb, dingy hallway at a hospital, with extra hospital equipment just parked along the sides of it. This is going to invite staff there to leave another item in the hall, whereas a clean corridor and adequate storage will encourage staff to take the time to put the item away, thus resulting in a cleaner hallway. You can see all the dirt, the dust, the hair on the floor, and you sweep it up, right? You know, it's easier to see the things that are gonna get you. Lila Glenn, a researcher, proclaims how being clean helps reduce stress and depression. It helps you eat better. It boosts your relationships. It increases productivity. It helps you lose weight. And I'm going to explain all this to you. It helps you lose weight. It aids in sleep and other things as well, which are not listed here. So, it reduces stress and depression. After a really long day at work, the last thing you or your mother wants to come home to is a dirty house. Because if your mom comes home to a dirty house, you guys are going to feel her wrath. And so will I, if it was my mom. So that's why you make sure you leave the house nice and clean if you can. You don't want any baskets full of dirty laundry, a sink full of dishes, dirty walls, etc., etc. Layla states, quote, according to a study in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, women who described their homes as cluttered or full of unfinished projects were more depressed, fatigued, and had higher levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, as the stress hormone, than women who felt their homes were more restful and restorative and had cleaner homes and dishes put away, etc. It helps you eat better. Dr. Selhub says, clutter is stressful for the brain, so you're more likely to resort to coping mechanisms such as choosing comfort foods or overeating, than if you spend time in neater surroundings. I can tell you don't believe me, Josh. But I think you should. I think you should believe me because, hey. So, it boosts your relationships. An untidy house can cause shame and embarrassment, preventing you from inviting people around your house. I have seen this as well. My mother, some other moms of my friends, they say, I don't want to invite anybody over because my house is, the basement's a mess. The outside looks terrible. So that can hinder you from having people over to your house. This effectively cuts you off from your friends somewhat, and in turn could lead to feelings of isolation and depression. This is a real thing, okay? This is a very real thing. It does, having a clean environment increases productivity. The Journal of Neuroscience reports that when there are a lot of untidy things around your home, it overloads your visual cortex. So you see the things in your untidy home, and it makes it harder to focus on the task at hand. So you walk into your room and you think, what did I come in here for? There's so much junk in here, what in the world? So if you are more productive at work, you can finish early. If your boss lets you get off early, then you can do that. This means you can go home early or on time and relax or hang out with friends or clean your house some more if you're a neat freak, More power to you. More productivity allows for more exercise and better sleep as well. It can help you lose weight. Dr. Selab also states, being healthy requires forethought, organization, and preparation. When you're organized, you're more likely to plan your meals, stock up on nutritious foods, and prep things like fruits and vegetables to make healthy eating more likely. It aids in sleep. According to a survey by the National Sleep Foundation, 75% of people reported that they got a better night's rest with freshly changed sheets and fluffed pillows. They used the word fluffed pillows. The Huffington Post reports that regular cleaning is good for your heart and soul. Researchers have tracked the physical health of people. As I mentioned earlier, this is where it came from. The demographic of people from 49 to 65. That demographic has a likelier chance of heart disease. The people who were more clean found that they had a better overall health than the people with dirtier homes. So these people with the cleanest homes, they were the healthiest, most active, according to the study results. In fact, the findings also suggested that encouraging people to maintain their home's cleanliness may be even more important to their overall health than the walkability of the neighborhood they live in. They just stay at their house. So, quote, at the end of the day, the interior condition of their house seemed to be the only thing affecting their physical activity. It was not at all what we expected. That's what the Keith lady at the very beginning said. She's the doctor from Indiana University, associate professor there. It's clear by her statement that the discovery surprised even the researchers, but are these findings really so shocking? Florence Nightingale, a pioneer of modern nursing, famously quoted, "The connection between health and the dwelling of the population is one of the most important ones that exists." So, my friends, if you take anything away from this, Caleb, listen to your mom when she says, "Clean your room," and wash the dishes. So, you will thank both me and your mother. Thank you so much for listening.